So generally using a hard and soft brush makes sense, right? Because folds are sort of like that. So main thing about folds is just think of where your main occlusion shadows are going to come, right? So for example, I'm going to have like an occlusion from here. I'm going to rotate it. So every fold will have like a hard and a soft edge. If you see here, this is a soft edge, right? So this is a hard edge. So wherever the fold is turning, we'll create like a soft edge, and wherever the fold is folding inside, we'll create a hard edge. So we need to think of that when we are rendering the folds. So for example, put a line like this. So I'm just blocking the hard edge of this fold, and maybe put another line like that, another hard edge. Then what we can do is maybe rotate the brush slightly. Right, then we can just go with like a softer edge. You see that is automatically creating that kind of a 3D feel for the fabric. Then we can, like, all we have to do is maybe take like a smudge tool or something, and when we have like too much of a hard edge, we can just so if it's too much of a hard edge, like over here, we can always use just a smudge tool and just blur it so it's sort of starts blending. So with this, we can start building up this fabric. So maybe for areas that I don't need like too much of a hard edge, I can just use like a maybe over here. It's all about controlling hard and soft edges, man. So we just have to be conscious of like which edge is supposed to be hard and which edge is supposed to be soft. And maybe just need a little bit of rounding over there. So I'm just going to use the brush to create the depth. And over here, you see this guy is kind of coming like this, right? So maybe like that. And this guy is maybe going like this. Maybe we can stylize this a bit. Okay. Are you guys able to follow, or is it difficult?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Follow.
yeah. So it's like we're like, you see like how we sculpt. It basically sculpting form. So we need to, like, it might take a couple of tries to get the actual right shapes. So maybe a couple of tries to get it right. But whenever doing any kind of like strokes, make sure that it's helping you define the form more, right? So here I want it like that, right? So maybe I just draw a line like that, and I know that this is going to be a hard edge on this side. On the other side, it's going to be like a softer edge, sort of like that. And maybe I don't want like a hard black line there, so I'm gonna just use a smudge tool to just blend it. You see like how it's blending together,
Yeah.
and maybe I just need like a small break up here. Does that look good? A little bit smaller, and like that. Okay. Like I don't want to do this. It become flat. I want that. I want to have enough overlap so that I have this tick 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 feeling. Right. So I can do that. Then maybe make the brush a bigger brush, like really big. Let's try to give some really good strokes. Okay. like that. Like I would say, like whenever you're drawing like shapes, like folds or something like that, if you can be graphic, be graphic. You don't have to follow the reference exactly. Right. You see, like I just put two strokes and kind of looks like the fold is kind of coming inside like this. And this area, I don't want to put too much information here so that I have some breathing space. So I'm not going to put too much fold information, maybe something not too big, like a smaller one over here. It's slowly coming to life, right? And something like that. Done. So I would overwork. I wouldn't overwork it. So I'm like, okay, this kind of captures the feel of the fold. So maybe here I might have to make some changes. Maybe I'll use like a lasso select carefully, and maybe change it like that. That's why I have the darks in separate layer, lights in separate layer. And after we are done with that, maybe if we go back and whatever color we feel, look like a cloth. So depending on whatever we feel on the bottom side, start looking like a cloth. Right. Yeah, don't mind that. I think that's repeated right. Did that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Do you?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you like this is what I was going to say next, like making it like splash art level render or
So
drapery.
yeah, so it's splash art. Like what you'll do is like maybe you'll use like key light or something like that. It's strong. So we'll have to again, like once we have this base, we can always build on top of that, right? We'll have something like that. So maybe light is coming from backside. Then maybe you'll have like a. Then you'll have like a maybe like a bounce light that's coming from the bottom or something like that. So depending on that, we'll just add more complexity. But like this will be like the basic building blocks. And depending on the material, we'll be adding more details. But again, if your basic building blocks are not like solid, it'll be harder to get the folds to work. Hey Sagar. Does that make sense? Any final
Makes
thoughts?
sense till now.
Okay.
Yeah, it made sense.
Alright.
It's like trying to, like when you render, trying to switch up like brushes. So if you do more, like you will know like when to use what type
Yeah,
of brush.
yeah. That's definitely. So I mean, when I do like the main time I switch up brushes is to get like some texture variants. Maybe here, like instead of using this soft brush again, I might use some other like maybe noise brush to get like a different texture here, right? So like that way it'll create more interest. Instead of having the same kind of a feel, it'll create more interest. Maybe it's like some different breakup, a specular breakup, or can I use this round hard brush to create like a different, like you see, adding more texture detail will make it more interesting. But you have to have like a basic. So the problem with textures is if you add too much, your form will become too complex. So if you're adding textures, make sure your form is simple. If you have a complex form, then it makes sense to have like a simple texture. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one piece of advice I'd give you guys. Yeah,